I'm back! Took a while. My editing software went kaplunk on both my personal computer and my office computer, so that made things difficult. But thanks to my brother, I have a temporary solution for the coming weeks. We'll see how this goes. I'm not gonna do full reviews on every episode I missed. I am sorry. It's not gonna work within my schedule right now. But I will touch briefly on my thoughts on all the episodes from The Woman Who Lived up to Sleep No More. Okay, let's get started. The Woman Who Lived. Slightly different story structure just because it's the doctor having an adventure without Clara. And for the sake of the story, I will say that it's better for it. Well, I have to say, I enjoyed the girl who died more than the woman who lived. I really did like this episode, even for just Maisie Williams. She was brilliant playing Lady Me, who is polar opposite of Ashildr. She's much colder, much harder, and she plays it very convincingly. And I'm excited to see her come back, because I know she's coming back in Face the Raven, which I have not watched yet. I'm waiting until I get this review done. Face the Raven's just gonna be good, even if it's just for her. I really like how this episode takes a glimpse into the idea of being immortal in a mortal world from a new angle. We see it constantly with the Doctor, him being a Time Lord and all that, but we never seen it in the way of this. Now we see it happen to someone who naturally wasn't supposed to live as long as she has, and the effects it has on her are totally grounded in reality, even though this is a fantasy. Whatever. They seem totally natural. And then, in turn, this touches on the Doctor's experiences outliving everybody he holds dear and cares about. And it makes you really sad at the end when Clara comes in for a brief minute without any idea of what just happened. And you get emotional because you know it's almost time for us to say goodbye, Clara. I'm not ready to see you go. In short, I love this episode. It had a more melancholy and slower pace to it. It has a good conclusion, resolving the conflict between the Doctor and Lady Me very convincingly, and yet with still a little bit of tension, which you would expect in a normal friendship that's kind of got two people with different viewpoints. Yeah. Next up, the Zygon Invasion and Zygon Inversion. The Zygons ain't my favorite, let's just be honest, but the storyline was so interesting to me that it kept my attention, and I didn't even care that the Zygons are basically what the Zygons look like. I guess I can't really blame Moffat for that. That's old school Doctor Who coming in. But yeah, other than that, I have no complaints. I'm not going on a Dalek rant again, don't worry. The fact that thousands of Zygons apparently have been living on Earth from the time of the Day of the Doctor until now was very interesting to me, because you had no hint of it before this moment. Even though I feel like it kind of has a couple flaws in it, that's okay, it's Doctor Who. As it goes though, it had this natural pull to it, because you're like, oh, so that's what's been going on, and that's how the treaty was put in place, and that's how everything was resolved in the Day of the Doctor. It's like you didn't know this, just as a normal human would not have known. But now you're seeing all these repercussions. And Clara, she's just a beast. Even when she's in an induced coma, she helps save the world. So be warned to anybody who would like to go up against Clara. Nothing short of killing her will stop her, it seems. Nothing short of killing her will stop her. How is Clara gonna convincingly be transitioned into a normal life after this? If she survives the end of this season, she's gonna become like Martha. I almost rather have her die, which I don't want at all. So, on that note though, props to Jenna Coleman for playing Bonnie so well. You can tell the characters apart in a snap after that moment of revealing about the duplicates and all that. But, you know, before that, I had no idea. Props, Jenna Coleman. Oh, and I'm totally cool with Osgood's return because it totally makes sense. And I was not sure if they were going to have a lame explanation about how she didn't die in the Nightmare in Silver, but the fact that there was two of them all along, which we had no idea of until this episode, it makes sense. It doesn't feel fully resolved though, because you don't know if this Osgood is the human Osgood or the Zygon Osgood. It's a very good way of approaching the bringing back a dead character thing that TV shows do in a very annoying way sometimes, but this I am totally okay with because there still isn't that full resolve of she is actually back. There's still that mystery behind who she really is. I almost don't want them to reveal whether she's the Zygon or the human Osgood. Not for some time, and if they do it, not make it very dramatic. Keep it subtle, ease it in, and then you're like, oh, okay, now we know. But it's not like a lot of returnees from death are like, just like the big boom, mind blown moment. What the heck? Last. You know when they say last but not least? That doesn't apply here. Yeah, in the case of Sleep No More, I almost don't even want to talk about this episode. I'm in denial about this episode. This episode should not have even happened. I mean, come on. Eye mucus taking over people's bodies? I like the idea of speeding up sleep and it causing something crazy to happen to people, but not something lame and stupid and I really appreciate Doctor Who taking common things and making them freaky. Like angel statues, the Vashta Narada, snowmen. But eye mucus? Maybe if they did it a little bit differently, they had the reveal a little bit different and it wasn't so like, the sleepies in your eyes are turning against you. Ugh. It was just frankly lame. Let's just agree that this episode was very poorly contrived and leave it at that. I liked the fact that they try to get creative with the found footage thing, because one of the biggest flaws about found footage is that you don't know who's holding the camera all the time, and they made it actually look like people were holding it at points, and then towards the end when you found out it was actually the monitoring of the dust specks and all that in the air, that was probably the best part about that, the most creative part about that, but it felt like someone making a Doctor Who fan movie. And the guy who came up with this episode, I'm trying to remember what else did he do. He did another one of those lamer ones. And when I found that out, I wasn't surprised. Just, what was it? I have to find out, give me one moment. Okay, Mark Gatiss, I guess is his name, and he's the one who was commissioned Robot of Sherwood. So, yeah, Robot of Sherwood's not my favorite either, so I just really not a fan, I'm finding, of this guy's work within Doctor Who. So I'm gonna be looking at the credits a lot more closely now, and when it says Mark Gatiss at the beginning, I'm gonna prepare myself to be disappointed. Is that harsh? That's harsh. But better be prepared. Yeah, okay, anyway. So, now I am going to, what time is it? I have to check the time because I'm seeing Mockingjay Part 2 today with some people. Yeah, I will do a review on that, I am sure. Mockingjay Part 2 will be coming. I'm excited. Other than that, I am going to now watch Face the Raven. And if I have time and I can get my thoughts together, I will do a review promptly afterwards. I might not actually take the time to write down thoughts the way I've done before, just because it depends on how excited I am about it. But if need be, I will, so we'll see what happens. I am unnecessarily telling you what I may or may not be doing, so I should stop. Anyway, yeah, if you guys have any other opinions about these last few episodes, I would love to hear them. Comment below, subscribe. Sorry, I've been flaky lately. So yeah, I am proud of myself. I got this done in like 20 minutes of filming, which never happens. I usually take much longer, which means the editing is gonna be so much easier this time. Which is good, because I'm using a program I'm not familiar with this week. So hopefully it gets out there quickly. Yeah, be looking out for my Mockingjay Part 2 review as well. I'm not sure when that will go up, but it's gonna happen because I love the Hunger Games. And I will tell you why when I release Mockingjay Part 2 review. So, I've read the books and I don't need to talk about this right now. Doctor Who. Doctor Who.